Good afternoon. We're going live. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We're here live on Co-working Live with Red Worldwide, and we are excited that you are here with us today. I'm Dr. Patience Jackson Rose, and I am the CEO and founder of Red Worldwide, the host of this particular broadcast. And so we're excited that you continue to come and listen to us and look at our videos, see us after the fact, okay, however you get to us, because we believe that we have something of value that if you will just parse through all of the different videos, you will find the ability to use it for your benefit in your entrepreneurial endeavor, whatever that might be. Well, today we have a very special broadcast. It is Tech Thursday, and we're excited about it being Tech Thursday. And so on Tech Thursdays, we try to bring tools and tips, technology, information, and we want to make sure that we can provide a good, well-rounded view of the tech that's available, because we think it will be something that will help to make you more successful in what you do. And so today, we were going to do a What's in My Bag. We're not going to do that one today. We will do it soon, but we're not doing it today. We tried to do it a few weeks ago, and our tech was just not working the way we needed it to. So nobody could see what was in the bag. So today, what we're going to do, though, is we're going to talk about the tools and the technology that you might want to take the time to make sure you can put into your world, your entrepreneurial world. And so we'll kind of go through all of the things that it takes to be an entrepreneur in today's tech savvy world, and see what it is that you can extract from it. And then we'll talk about some ways that you can get some of this tech almost free, if not free, and things that you can do when you're just starting out, or when you are in a situation where you don't have a big budget to actually have the tech solutions that are needed to run a company. And with that said, Javon, can you roll the slides, please? Okay, so today we're going to be going through tech tips and tools for solopreneurs. And in this episode, we really are trying to just give a few tips and tools that you as a solopreneur can use to make your life easier. Some of you guys may not be solopreneurs, but you're going to still be able to find value in this. However, it has been curated more for the person who is running a business, and it's just with a really small team. And so if the small team is just you, or just a few people and you, or contractors and you, then you will find a lot of value in some of the things that we're going to talk about today, because we're going to kind of flesh out everything that I believe a person should have if they're trying to become more, I should say, um, tech rich, okay, technology rich. And so, with that saying, let's go to the next slide, please. So the first thing that you need is a travel friendly bag. Okay. Now, I happen to have a couple of different kinds of bags for different reasons, and we'll talk about some things that you might want to consider when you're looking at having a travel friendly bag, but let's just talk about the fact that you need a bag. Okay, you need a bag. I've tried to do this with a purse before, and where I was traveling, and I just grabbed a shoulder bag and said, I'm going to put my things in there. And I've come to understand that you need to make sure that you have a durable, versatile, comfortable to carry bag that you can try to put everything in. I have gone to the lengths of trying to make sure that my bags were nicely set up, that they were cute, or that they were the newest trend. And I did that for a long time when I was a lot younger. And I've come to understand right now I need something that's comfortable. I need something that's not easy for someone to get into if for whatever reason someone would try to get in my bag and take something away from it. And I need something that is durable so that I don't have to keep buying bags over and over and over again. If I had every dime that I have spent on a bag in the last 10 years, oh my God. So I'm just explaining that you can buy a good, durable bag that will last you for a long time. I've come to understand that coming to the world of entrepreneurial endeavors in which and I was coming from being in the classroom. So I mean, I literally came from the classroom into being an entrepreneur, and I was already really, I had my side hustles and things that I was doing already. But for the most part, I walked out of a classroom into an office that was mine. But most of what I did was in a car. And so at some point, I really was, going for the executive look, and I had the briefcase, and it was really, really nice and heavy and all of that. And at some point I said, you know what, I need to go for something that's a little less clunky. It has more room. I can fit all of the things in it. And I landed in two different types of bags. So generally right now I have some nice gifts that people have bought me, really nice bags that people have, spent the money and the time to make sure that they provided, because of the fact that they felt like, okay, you know what, she does a really good job and I really want her to know I appreciate her. And so I've had people spend a lot of money on bags for me. But I will say this to you, that if you're starting out and you really want to know what the best practice is in this area, get a really good travel friendly backpack. Okay. I'm saying I, have come to love the backpack because of the fact, especially the ones that are stretchable, or they have a lot more room on the inside. They have some compartments, or they have, if they don't have compartments, they have the ability to receive other types of devices that you can put inside. So I've got a little pocket deal that I put inside of my backpack that has pockets all in it, and it's got compartments. And so it allows me to have inside of a backpack that I really liked, that just didn't have the pockets that I needed, the ability to have organization. It's wonderful when you have a bag that allows you to be more organized. So multiple pockets and compartments, or the ability to host another bag inside of it that has multiple pockets and compartments is really good, and some of the bags are even designed that they are going to be able to fit underneath the airplane seat. I travel a lot, and because I travel a lot, I am looking for a backpack. When I go to purchase a backpack, I'm looking for one that I can slide under the seat, that I will be able to have access to and get all of the things that I need right, away. And I have a couple of sizes that I use. And so I was blessed to be able to get a couple of Coach bags. Both of them are backpacks, and when if purchased at their retail price, they were quite pricey. However, let me tell you, the thrift store is amazing. Outlet malls are amazing. The outlet, the factory store, outlets, those are amazing. And even going the route of finding your ability to, just trade bags with people, or for that matter, let people know, hey, I'm looking for a really good backpack. Because let me tell you, I was looking for a really good backpack, and my daughter gave me her Coach bag, and I was so excited because it was made of a durable leather. I've used it now for more than a year, and I can tell you I can fit stuff in there. I don't have to concern myself with it getting, torn or anything like that, because it is extremely well designed, and it's not heavy. I can, wear it on my one shoulder or put it on both shoulders, and I feel really good. Now I use it for the smaller size laptop that I have, because I have a couple of different laptops. One is my ministry laptop that goes with me when I go to minister, and it is a smaller laptop. I use it for casting onto the screen and doing some power things that I just can't do, from my tablet. But some of you guys have heard me talk about the fact that I'm traveling more with tablets and less with laptops these days, and I am. And with the exception of when I have to use my laptop for actual production work, or when I'm, ministering and I have to run sound through my laptop or from my laptop, I am that's kind of the only time that I'm really taking the laptop with me in that capacity. And it fits really nicely in that 15 inch, or it's actually I think it's like 15 by 7 or 8, I believe is what the size of it is. And it just makes sense. No, actually it's a 15 by 11 is the size of the backpack. And so I'm able to stick my laptop in there. I can stick my iPad mini in the front pocket, and my other 11-inch iPad in the middle. And I do take both of those with me because they're used for different purposes. And then I can take my water bottle, and I actually have a place for a notepad, a physical notepad, and my pencil bag, and all of my accessories, and it fits in that one bag. However, I have another bag because my power laptop that I have to take every now and then, it is a 16-inch MacBook. And so for that reason, I need the larger bag to sit it down inside of it. So I've got a bag that's about 18 by 15, and it is a wonderful bag in that I'm able to fit not just my laptop and a couple of iPads and some accessories, but I can actually even fit a day's clothing in there, and my makeup bag. And so with that said, the makeup bag with my toiletries and a day's clothing, I can actually travel with just that bag alone. If I'm on a flight where I am not able to really carry a lot of bags, I carry just that one bag with everything in it. And the way I'm able to do that is packing cubes. Let me tell you, packing cubes are amazing. So I can fit all of the clothing and undergarments and, little ancillary things that I might need inside of the packing cube. And I even have a packing cube for a pair of shoes that actually, zips all the way down to give me the ability to have like my house shoes and the shoes that I'm wearing, of course, in the bag. And so it makes a lot of sense to be able to use the packing cubes inside of the backpack, and then we can use the back part of the backpack for the other items that, are, the laptop and iPad and accessories, so this is a really good thought process to go through when you're buying a bag. Is it durable? In other words, will it last you a long time? Is it versatile? Meaning, can I use this for both carrying of clothing and a few snacks and my laptop and other items that I need for business? And does it have some dedicated compartments, or can I fit that in the inside of it some or other type of device that will allow me to put? Now, let me just say this. Amazon has some of the best budget-friendly bags for $15, guys. I put the filter on in Amazon, and I said I'm not spending more than $15 on a backpack. And I didn't want the kind of backpacks that had the interior that was like plastic. I mean, I wanted something that was a little more soft, but it looked nice, but it was a budget backpack. And I was able to get a budget backpack for $15 that was made of a material that was very durable and it was very lightweight. It had a bunch of pockets. I was so excited about it. And so I'm saying that if you shop right, you can find a budget friendly bag that will actually give you the ability to get all of your needs met with regards to maybe a couple of clothing items and a few snacks. And then, of course, all of your what I call your business in a box, your office. Okay. All right. Next slide, please. Okay, so let's talk mobile devices. Now, a lot of people know that I'm big on mobile because I mean, at one point in time in my life, I ran a whole office off of a cell phone. I do tell you that I became very good at it too. I had two cell phones. One was a personal phone, and the other one was for business. And I ran my whole business off of that cell phone. So you can use a smartphone, okay, to run an entire company if necessary because of the kinds of apps and things that are available now. I mean, I hooked up a keyboard to my phone and I had a nice little foldable keyboard. It was about the size of the phone. So here I had my phone. If you can see my phone, I had my phone and I had a keyboard that was just a little bit wider than the phone and it folded. And when I opened it up, it actually opened up into a full size keyboard and it allowed me the ability because it had a little trackpad in the middle to use my phone as a computer. A phone literally is a computer. Just saying, okay? So I had the ability to get on the internet. I could write emails. I could call people. I could scan documents. I could actually mark things up using my finger. I could sign documents. I could access just about any mobile website that was available in a browser. I could actually run meetings from my phone because I had, the apps on the phone that allowed me to run the meetings. And so having the capacity of the smartphone gives you the ability to really run a whole company if you need to. And I've done it where I've traveled with just my phone. And although at the time I wasn't even thinking about how difficult it might would have been, it was just I was in a situation where I could not take other devices based on where I was going. They allowed you a phone. That was it. So that's what I did. I traveled with the phone and it worked perfectly fine. Now, however, I prefer the iPad though. And let me just say this. This is not about, what ecosystem you're in. If you're in iOS or if you're in Android or if you are using some other off, a different brand of device, it doesn't matter because what matters is the ability for you to utilize the device to the maximum of its capacity. If you can find out how to work the device and make the device work for you, then use the device. Okay. So as I said, I've run a whole company on a phone. I actually ran a whole company on a PDA. Remember those? I did. I had a PDA, a personal data assistant, the little bitty um it looked like a phone. And I one of these days when we do the what's in my bag, I'll bring out a PDA that I have that is a very old Hewlett Packard device, but I just think it's important to keep some of that stuff around. And I'll show you how I was able to run a whole company because it actually had little keys that you could type on and you could get on the internet with it back when we were using dial up and you could actually send faxes and receive faxes. It had its own little modem. And I mean, it helped me to be able to do more with less. So there are times when you need to be able to do more with less. If you are only able to have your phone, you ought to be able to know how to make the phone do what you needed to do, and nobody else should be the wiser. There's a way for you to actually be in Zoom and nobody even know you're on a phone. And I'm telling you that having the capacity, one of these sessions when we have on Tech Thursdays, I'll show you how to make that happen where you can log in and it doesn't look like you're logging in from a phone. You're just logging in the way everyone else logs in technically, but you're on a phone and they're on their computers and people can't tell. So it's about learning the devices. Use YouTube University and learn everything there is to learn about your devices to make them work for you, because you need them to do everything they can do so that you can do the things that only humans can do. And this is really important for you to grab that as a concept and put it in the front of your consciousness so that you can make sure that you make your devices work for you and work well. Okay. I am a tablet girl. I love tablets. And as I said, I have used a multiplicity of tablets. I have used different types of Android tablets, and I've also used Apple devices as well, the iPads. I've used every iPad, from the iPad mini to the regular iPad, the iPad Air, the iPad Pro. I've had my fill of iPads. And I will tell you that I currently am finding and liking that the iPad Pro 11-inch M4 is my favorite device at the moment. Although I still do like the iPad mini for reading books, for doing quick things, for actually, I've used them as a screen to get on Zoom and use my other devices while I'm using it as a screen while we're rolling down the road. Because sometimes when we travel, we're in the car. And so I have had the expressed privilege of having one of those little devices that you can put up in the window, and I will adhere my iPad mini up there, and I'll have a keyboard in my lap, and I can, a keyboard with my other iPad on it in the lap. And so I'm doing what I'm doing down here and making and sharing my screen from the other iPad while I'm using the one iPad as my front facing camera. And it has been an amazing experience to, not have to give up the ability to have, quality and professionalism, even if I'm in the car rolling down the road on my way to some other place. Okay. So we've done it, but I have also known that even though I could probably run a whole company from my tablet, or for that matter, I could exist very well in the tablet ecosystem, I still do enjoy using my laptop. And so I want you to really think about the fact that even though you probably will at some point, you may have to come into the decision of, going on a trip where you can't take all of the devices that you have and you only can maybe take one or two. Having a really good phone with good, internet connection and having a good tablet, that might be the way to go. But if you find yourself in a situation where there are certain softwares that just don't work on the tablet, and the only way you can get access to them is on your laptop, then taking your laptop may be the way you have to go. Now, recently, I've come into the knowledge of, utilizing certain types of software that I can connect from my tablet to my laptop at the house, or to my desktop at the house. And I haven't tested it out foolproof yet to see if I can use all of the software that I would need to use. Some of the softwares that we use for designing courses, they only run, on the computer and not in the browser. And so based on that, I have to test it to see. But I'm just saying that having a good quality laptop is really, really key. Again, I'm all for spending more money and having to buy less often. That is just my way. But I happen to have come into a great deal of, times, the ability to find a quality laptop at a very good price. And so I buy in the Mac ecosystem because I'm a Mac enthusiast. I love Mac, but I've also purchased for other people, and I've purchased for myself from time to time. I had to buy PCs for whatever reason. I have some software that just didn't work on anything else but a PC. And so at that time, what I was doing in my life, I needed to make that happen, that I had a good quality PC. And so with that said, you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, that you're buying a laptop that has plenty of memory, that it has a very good processor, and that it is the right size for what it is that you're trying to do. The screen size can really be important if you are developing, or you're doing anything in graphic design, or any type of if you're in any industry that requires that you have a larger monitor so that you can maybe pull two different documents up at the same time or anything like that, take the time to shop so that you can make sure what it is that you're buying is going to suit your needs. The worst thing in the world is, when you go and you purchase a laptop and then you find that you're having to settle for what it is that it does, as opposed to being able to, have it pack the punch that you needed to pack so that you can do the work that you need to do. So I'm saying that get the performance laptop. Some of the trendier laptops that had all the bells and whistles, I passed over to get the performance laptop because I needed the ability to have it do what I needed to do when I needed it to do it. I didn't need any lag time, and I absolutely didn't want to be in a situation where I was running out of space. So that's another whole situation. Now we have lots of good external drives, and that makes space considerations are not what they used to be. You can actually hook up a drive and it will use the space on the drive to, operate off of, as well as to have as, storage. But if you're not in a situation where you can purchase at this time something that's that, new, then go for power, go for performance, go for the RAM, the extra memory, so that you can make the laptop do what you need it to do, even though it might be a little bit older in, it's, or I should say a little dated in terms of when it was actually produced. Okay. So let's go to the next slide, please. So I put this here because I really believe that I need to talk about smartwatches. I see a lot of people who are needing to actually not have as many devices with them. And so, what I have come to understand is that having a good quality smartwatch, which I've had the Samsung and I've had the Apple Watch, and I can just tell you, of course, I prefer Apple, but I do know that, there are other types of watches that are just as effective at keeping you on track with fitness and helping you to, monitor your health. Having the biofeedback available on the watch can be really key. What I use my watch for is and I want to tell you this because you probably, are not going to believe me, but I want to be able to leave my phone at home. And so having the Apple Watch that I have gives me the ability to, if I don't want to carry my phone, I don't have to carry it. And there have been times when I left my phone, I forgot my phone, but because the Apple Watch works the way I needed it to work at that time, when somebody called me, they didn't know that I didn't have my phone. I had my headset and I had the phone on the watch, and I was able to keep it moving. I've had whole 30-minute, 45-minute conversations for business over my watch. And it has been very effective. No one complained about the sound. I was able to do everything that I needed to do with that watch. I've also been able to keep up with my schedule on my watch because I have the Outlook app on my watch. I have a couple of other apps that, informs me of different things that are going on. I can read emails. I can see text messages. And so it does make it so that if I just had my smartwatch and my tablet, I'm good. And of course, my headset, because I want to not have to have everybody else hear my conversation on the watch. So I need to be able to have a headset or earbuds so that I can keep the privacy where it needs to be. Smartwatches are really effective at a few things. And one of the things is, of course, telling time. But the other thing is they're good at, communications, quick communications. I can talk to the watch and I can tell it, send a text message that says this, send an email that says this, and, add my signature. I mean, these types of things can be done from the watch. So it does help you if you are able to learn how to use the watch and all of the software that comes on the watch, because if you don't know how to use the software, then it's not going to be as effective. So my goal is, again, to tell you, get on YouTube University, go to, if you're using Samsung, go to Samsung's website. They have wonderful videos. They can point you back to where you'll learn how to use the watch and learn how to make it do what you need it to do. It's very, 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 very important that whatever it is you're using in tech, that you take the time to learn how to make the tech work for you. Next slide, please. Okay, not sure. Next slide, please. All right, there we go. So, cases for our tech. We talked about having a good smartphone, and we talked about having a smartwatch, and we talked about having a tablet, but none of those things are going to really help you if you're not protecting them in such a way that you have them for longevity. I have one particular phone that I have had now for, oh, it's an iPhone 12, and I know I'm dating myself, when I talk about wanting to have a smaller phone. I just was such a proponent of the iPhone 4 and 5. I loved the size of those devices. And so when they came out with the iPhone 12 mini, I had to have one. I needed a smaller device. And it's kind of funny because the device that I had then was really not that much bigger. I don't know what I was thinking, but this device has been my go-to device for quite a while, and I can kind of show it to you. It's pretty small, and I have never had an incident where it was broken or chipped or any kind of issue because I've kept it in a case. And having the right type of case is key. You want to have a case that will definitely protect the phone for drops for a specific amount of feet. So, you can buy the cheaper cases, the $2 cases that you can get from the Dollar Tree. They may be cute with all the flowers, but are they going to give your phone the protection that it needs? It's important for you to understand that the phones that we have now, some of them can sustain a drop, but over time, too many drops is going to mean that you'll be buying a new phone. Okay, just saying, or you'll be using your insurance to get a new phone. You want to protect it from bumps and drops and scratches if you can, and you also want to have grip, so that you can actually have the ability for it to be less likely to fall. And then choosing a case that's durable and lightweight and easy to clean is really good. I never forget, I was somewhere and I had a really good case that I loved. It was pink. And those of you who know me, you know that I like pink. Okay. So I had this pink case and I loved the pink case, but the pink case was filthy and I could not get it clean. I don't care what I did. I mean, I tried all types of things on that case to get the dirt off. And it was just that it had gotten embedded in the type of plastic that they used to create the case, and there was no way to get it out. And I was like, oh, so my husband bought me a new case because I was so, you know, key, I guess, keen on having something that I could take with me. When you go to a meeting and you sit down and you put your case on the table, of your phone in a case on the table, and it looks bad, it says something about you. And so I wanted to make sure that I had something that looked uh, the way that it needed to look, and even if you can get a case that has some extra features like a kickstand or maybe a magnetic mount. Now we're using MagSafe, and so making sure your case has the ability for you to use the MagSafe with your phone. That's really a good thing. Sometimes even having card slots on the case is good for people who keep their cards, there with their phone, to enhance the convenience and the functionality. That's really a good deal. Being able to put your business cards in the little case on the phone is a good deal. Okay. All right. Next slide, please. All right, let's talk about power. Well, having the ability to have a power solution that works for you is going to be um, primary concern. And the reason for that is because if you have all of these wonderful devices and you have no power, then they are of no use. Okay. So you need to have a portable power bank, or a solar charger, even, car adapters, some way of choosing the right kind of way to access power is going to be key. I love Anchor because they create some of the most wonderful power solutions. But I also like, and I said I wasn't going to really talk brands today, but I just have to mention these. U Green is another brand because I like their way that their devices are made, and they have some power banks that are also adapters that give you a fast charge on your devices. And so I like those for that reason. Yesterday, I was needing to charge up one of my devices, and I plugged that Anchor fast charge adapter into the wall and put in the cord. And I'm telling you, literally in less than 30 minutes, I was at full capacity on my device, just because the Anchor, fast charger works very, very well, and so I'm saying to you that you want to have, options. Sometimes you may need to travel, and so you might want to have a fast charger that has maybe two sources where you can plug in, two outlets, to be able to plug in maybe a couple of different devices, or where it might have some USB-C and USB-A options on the device, as well as a way for you to plug your computer in. That is always going to be a really good idea. Okay. So there are power banks that have features that have the multiple, charging ports, and some other, options for making sure that you can get the device plugged in to a lot of different types of structures. And I'll say this because I have had some power solutions that actually have the cord that goes sideways, so that I can plug it in with a lot of other things that I might have plugged in to a power strip, or something that I can plug into the wall where I don't have to turn everything upside down because of the way the cord is made, and where the actual ground portion of the cord is. It allows me the ability to not have to concern myself with trying to plug in, that particular side of the port with, or plug with something else that it doesn't fit easily, next to. So, keeping the mindset of, again, you don't want to have so many things that it makes your bag real heavy, but at least having, a couple of power solutions. If you need to have a power bank and a charging solution with multiple charging ports, then that's, I think a really good choice. But if you can find such a device where it has a charging bank on it and it has the multiple ports, then I'm with the, all-in-one type devices. I think those are great. Okay. Let's go to the next slide, please. Connectivity. Okay, this is huge. And I have to say this because I want people to understand that there are lots of different options for connectivity. Some people, are prone to just use their phones as hotspots, and they will have one level of connectivity, which is really through their smartphone. But I am going to say this because of the fact that I think that people need to understand that when the phone companies tell you that you have unlimited internet on your phone, it doesn't necessarily mean that the internet is going to be unlimited and fast. It means that you'll continue to have unlimited, but they do throttle you. And after you've used so much of the internet, they will dial back your access to faster internet, which means that you could be taking a long time to get into your emails and things that might be very crucial. And it could create a problem if you're trying to run your company off of your phone. So looking at some other options might be key. I, personally have always, had at least two cell phones, and one of those cell phones had the ability to operate as a hotspot so that I could, you know, um, run my other devices off of it if I needed to. And these times, the it doesn't cost you any less for you to have mobile hotspot on your phone. Um, so for that reason, you might as well use the mobile hotspot on both the phones if you have two phones. Or for that matter, if you have a phone and a tablet device, you might want to consider having a mobile hotspot on the tablet so that if you need to run your laptop and you need to connect to Wi Fi, you have the ability to do so through your phone. I never advocate for people to use public Wi Fi ever. Okay. And there's a lot of reasons why, but let's just say this, that there are some people that may not be very honorable that hang out in places where public Wi Fi is. And when they're there to exploit vulnerabilities of people who do not realize that they're vulnerable. People who don't realize they're vulnerable are people who are using public Wi Fi. Okay. They don't understand all that could happen with someone getting into their devices. And so I am saying that having reliable internet that you can control how private it is essential for you as a solopreneur. Make sure you have a strong signal when you're working, and make sure that you don't leave yourself in a position where somebody can hack in and take access to your most private information. And I will also say this, that if you find yourself in a situation where you need a mobile hotspot, a separate device, there are a lot of really good choices nowadays. You could choose to get a hotspot that actually offers a lot more than just having cell signal. It could operate off of the not just the internet, through the cell signal, but it could offer off of a satellite. And so that is a good option for people who might be in a rural area and they can't actually get on with a cell signal. Having access to the internet through the satellite services that are available are really an important option for people who are in a place where they just can't get a connection otherwise. And the price point has come way down on having a mobile hotspot that is connected to satellite service. So, it could be an option for you. I would say just really shop well to see what you can take advantage of so that you will be able to remain connected, even if you're in a place where connections aren't usually available through your cell phone. And then having a portable router is really going to be a good idea too. If you can invest in getting a portable router for a stronger and more stable connection, that could be key if you're in a place where the signal is just bad, or for that matter, if you're in a place where you need to have more devices hooked up at the same time. I've had a portable router before, and I could hook up to 10 devices to the portable router, and it made sure that we were all protected on with our devices, but it also made sure that I had a strong signal, to be able to conduct business while on the go. So that's a really good option for people who, again, are traveling solopreneurs. All right, next slide, please. Essentials. You can't forget the little things. Okay, like I said, a good power bank or a multi-port USB hub. Those are good things. Having, these wonderful little adapters are very, very important. I said I wasn't going to really talk brand, but I just have to show, what you're looking at, because having this particular type of hub is really good. This one here is an 11-in-1, I believe. No, this is a 7-in-1. It has the USB-C, USB-C ports, two of those, two USB-A ports, a HDMI port, and the SD card port. and it actually works very, very well. It has two SDA card ports and works very well to make sure that I'm able to connect to my laptop from other devices and in a situation where that's needed. Now I have another one that's a little smaller, and I'll show you that one as well. It has three USB-C ports, I'm sorry, three USB-A and one USB-C port and an HDMI port. And I like it because it's small. The form factor that it is allows me the ability to do what I need to do and not have to concern myself with having so much in my bag. I can just stick it down in the side, and it works. Okay, so thinking about those things that often get overlooked, can be really important. But let me just say this. Something that you may not think about that I have thought about and I've invested in are having, the holders, the stands. I have a couple of little folding stands that I take with me in my bag because of the fact that it can hold my iPad up higher so that it could be at eye level and or okay, it could, create an opportunity to even hold my laptop up a little higher, and I can use the keyboard and mouse or keyboard and trackpad, um, with the laptop sitting up a lot higher in one of those, device holders. And so, I mean, I carry this one with me when I'm going somewhere that, and I just need to have something really compact. It closes down, but when it opens up, it actually does extend, and I can get a nice height. Let's see if I can do that again. A nice height with it, and I have a few different kind that work well, really well for me. Some of them were very, very inexpensive, and I will say this: I look for a lot of sales. I've gone to those sales where people buy the Apple, I mean, not Apple, but the Amazon pallets. And I was able to find a lot of little essentials like these things for $8, $5, $2, almost free, So, and then of course I shop at the thrift stores and I find a lot of those types of device holders and things at the thrift stores because people, when they don't want to use them anymore, they donate them. And so for a lot of times that I have, grabbed them, I've been able to give away these kinds of things. But it's really important that you are thinking about some of the essentials that'll make it easier for you to do business. One of the other items that I love to talk about is a good pair of quality noise canceling earbuds. Okay, you can use earbuds. I prefer a certain brand of earbud, but having something that's small and that has a case that can attach to your bag is really good. Sometimes you may want to have the kind that fits over the ear. So I am a proponent of that because I don't always do well with the ones that are in my ear. So having something that fits over the ear does help give a little break to my ears when I've had these other earbuds in my ear for a long period of time. And then other times when I'm traveling and I haven't had the opportunity to really charge up my earbuds, having a couple of pair gives me the ability to last a full day because I haven't run into a pair of headphones yet that are earbuds or, the type of over the ear kind of earbuds that will allow me to have a full 10 hours, of talk time. Just not happening. So with that said, unless I'm on standby and I'm not using them, I try to plug them into the power bank and, get a little extra time, or I just carry a couple pair because that does really help to make sure that I'm not having to be without when I need it, especially if I'm in a noisy environment. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So daily use. Solopreneurs spend a lot of time on their mobile devices for communication, scheduling, and planning. We're always, keeping up with what's going on, and having a powerful phone with a long battery life is really going to be essential. There are a lot of really good phones out there now, and so you can um, just really keep up with what's happening in the industry and find the one that works for you. Having the smartwatch is going to actually give you a little bit more flexibility, so you could use the phone sometimes, the smartwatch other times, if it's the type that will allow you to connect to your phone and make phone calls, or for that matter, that you can leave your phone at home and use the smartwatch only. Those are, some um, ways that you can unplug from your full device and still be able to do some of the main stream things that you need to do in your business. So, thinking about daily use, just think about how you need to use your devices and what things make sense for your company. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Portability. Having the freedom to work anywhere is really key. When you're able to work from your favorite coffee shop or a park bench or an airport, it just really it means a lot to not have to, stop what you need to do because you have to move around. So portability is going to be key. We already talked about having a great bag and being able to make sure that you can fit everything in the bag, but you also want to make sure that you're being safe when you're putting your things in your bag so that you don't leave yourself vulnerable to theft or for that matter, to damage. You need to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing is easy to transport, it's lightweight, it's compact, and it gives you the ability to have the essentials in the bag so that you can move around, effectively. Um, Efficiently moving between appointments and meetings is key. And so you want to make sure that have done the work to put things together in a way that you have access to something that is portable and flexible, but is completely everything that you need when you're on the go. And then you want to be able to work from any location. Um, if you're on a business trip, you want to be thinking about, okay, if I'm going out of the country, I've got to make sure that I put the things in place so that I can use my tech out of the country. I never forget when I was in Sao Paulo, Brazil, my phone, even though I had the phone plan that allowed me to use the phone from another country without having to pay any more money, unfortunately, the phone itself, for whatever reason, did not like the cell towers where we were during those particular days. And so some of the days it worked fine, but when we were all the way, in the venue that we were using, it was not a good deal. So I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? So you got to make sure that when you're traveling, you do the things necessary ahead of time to make sure you will have access to all of your tech and that it will work the way that you need it to work so that you can stay productive and connected no matter where you are. Next slide, please. Okay, so for productivity, you're always looking for ways to boost your productivity, and having the right tools and techs can make a big difference. You got to, just make sure that whatever you do, you have that reliable laptop, the reliable tablet, whatever's going to make things go easier. If you have a tablet, have a keyboard. If you have a tablet that actually has the ability for you to write on it, have a pencil. And even if you can't afford to purchase the name brand pencil, I'm telling you, I've gotten some of the best pencils that work with Apple devices for $20. Okay, I've bought it for me, and I bought it for some of the people that were working with me at the time. They could not afford to have an Apple pencil, and so we were able to make those things work for us in a time frame, that we just could not really spend the necessary amount of cash to get the full brand the Apple branded pencils. So it's important that if you need to be taking notes and you can, see value in writing, then get the Apple Pencil. It works, or get something that actually works as a pencil on your device. If you're working with Android, they have also, feature rich pens that work with the Android devices as well. Use them because it can increase your productivity. Next slide, please. All right. So we're doing this for efficiency, guys. We're streamlining our workflow, which is really crucial for a solopreneur. We're leveraging all the right tools and tech to maximize our time and resources. And then we're automating repetitive tasks and prioritizing essential activities, by using our tech and our tools. Remember, we're using the tech and tools for things that we can use tech and tools for, because we only want to have to use our humans for things that only humans can do, if we can make that happen. So, having the right tech is going to be key in order for you to do that. Well, this has been Patience Rose with Co-working Live for with Red Worldwide, and we are so excited that you did join with us today. And we are glad to say that we hope to see you again next time. Make sure you're taking your tech and tools to the next level. Talk to you again.